It's early summer here in the Yorkshire wolds, and the countryside is teeming with wildlife. The butterflies that have emerged in the warm sunshine flit from flower to flower, whilst other pollinators compete for the valuable nectar resources. The swallows, freshly back from Africa, swoop across the fields looking for insects. The wildlife I've really come here to film, though, is one that I've never seen before, let alone filmed. It's one of Britain's most iconic animals, the badger. Badgers' preferred habitat is in and around woodland, especially on sloping ground. They live in complex networks of underground tunnels and chambers, called a sett. Setts often have multiple entrances, each resembling a rabbit hole. The sett entrances can often be seen at a distance due to the large amounts of earth surrounding them that the badgers have excavated. Somewhat larger than rabbit holes though, they often have a distinctive D shape to them with a flat bottom and rounded top. Once you've found a sett though, you need to know if it's still active. One of the signs to look out for is coarse hair, which can often be seen caught on fence wire close to the ground. Also look out for their footprints, especially after wet weather. They're quite distinctive, being rather wider than fox or dog prints and clearly showing the claw marks. Many well-worn paths leading to and from the sett entrances are also a good sign of activity. Latrines will also be situated close to the sett entrance. These are shallow depressions in the ground that the badgers use as a toilet. Dotted about the land surrounding the setts are many of these small holes. These are created when the badger pokes its strong snout in the ground foraging for earthworms. Like most wildlife, badgers are very wary of humans. And so, when planning a badger watching session, it's best to do so without alerting them to your presence. This will not only give you the best views possible, but avoid disturbing the wildlife itself. In order to be able to do this effectively, we need to know a little about the badger's sensory strengths and weaknesses. Badgers cannot see fine detail, so as long as you stay fairly still, even at a relatively close distance, they shouldn't notice you, although try not to let your outline break the horizon from the badger's perspective. Their hearing, however, is relatively good, so you must stay quiet. Avoid rustling clothes, coughing or talking. Make sure you're comfortable, so you don't need to move around too much. Finally, their sense of smell is excellent. So the most important thing is that you must stay downwind of them, otherwise you'll get detected in no time. On the evening you plan to watch them, arrive at least an hour before sunset, find a comfy spot, and then it's just a waiting game. As I sit quietly in anticipation of seeing badgers for the first time ever, I watch a distant buzzard scan the horizon as the sun slowly sinks beneath it. When suddenly I notice some movement in the long grass around the sett. Unfortunately, it's just a hare. I wait a little longer until the light is no longer usable, and call it a night. I'm soon back again though, as to stand a chance of getting a good view of them, you need to be patient and persistent. Once again though, sunset comes and goes with no sign of them, and I'm about to pack up when suddenly my luck changes, and I get to see my first glimpses of a real live badger. This wonderful experience is short-lived though, as the wind soon changes direction and he catches a whiff of me, disappearing back into the sett. Over the next couple of weeks, with many more visits to the pasture land that the badgers are sighted on, I managed to glean a little more insight into the lives of these elusive nocturnal animals. I'd always imagined them to be slow, lumbering animals, but the turn of speed this pair put on certainly changed my view on that. While still a pleasure to see, a lot of the behaviour I witnessed was simply them nosing around the sett entrance looking for food. In this next clip you can see a pile of dead grass beneath the feeding badger. This is bedding from the sett, which they like to take out and air regularly, much like we air our own bedding, to keep it fresh. Talking of bedding, this next sequence shows one of the badgers out on one of its nightly chores to collect fresh bedding. You can see it here using its strong foreclaws to rake through the long grass, scooping out the dead grass from beneath. It continues this until it has amassed a decent pile of the stuff. It's then taken into their cosy underground sleeping quarters. I often saw the badgers out in pairs. Here's a couple of them using their well-defined sense of smell to search out food in the dark.